Hello. Uh, I'm going based off that you might have, written the program and used it from the previous video. Um, this is to update the code and like this is calendar 4. This is a new project for me, but it's the same project. I just changed it to fix the bugs that I had in the old one. Um, I would use the same file that you had previously used. Remember that there has to be a folder, an INI folder, because I'm storing INI files. They're initialization files, and it contains all the data for your program to run. One thing you'll need is, like right now, you don't see the Solutions Explorer, so I'm going to open that, and the folder. You right click on Form CS, and you can say Open Containing Folder. Inside of here, you can go to the bin folder. Um, Actually, yeah, the debug folder, and there will be the INI file there. Again, you go back here and you'd have a release folder, and you'd have an INI folder there as well. These will contain the INI files that I'm creating to, you know, test the program. And when it's on the hard drive, it'll store the files in those locations. So I'll go ahead and run it in debug mode. I've already shown you that this works. I can create the files and everything, and everything is there.
This part of the video
So
is to inform
I
you.
can close. I already know the debug part works. Now what I want to do is change it to release mode, and then I'm going to run it in release mode. Okay, so the release version is open. I can create a new file. I'll just try new file, one. And you can add some things in here, change some dates. Um, and it should have it in here. And that one's does have ink. That has what put in here says 28 days, so it should be 28 days from there to that date. Um, if I want to edit the file, I can edit the file again. I can, delete some rows if I wanted to, or I could add something new. Go back and check it, and it only has, one entry inside the INI file. So it looks like it works. I can also delete that INI file if I wanted to, and it looks like that works. So the next step would be to, you know, put the installer in, and so I'll go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and add an installer. It would be in this area. I believe it's under solutions, and you say add new project under the solution calendar for add new project. And again, I want to select the installer that I had been using. I already know it's this one over here, but I'll go through this other step that I had done before. All languages, all projects. I just type setup here. I don't press enter. I just type setup, and it will locate. There it goes, setup project. And I say next, and just say calendar setup. Okay, so we'll do this again. I go and double click on the applications folder. I add a project output, publish items, and active. These are the things that I was told need to be selected. So I'll press OK. I'll create a shortcut. I'll name that is calendar of events. With this shortcut, I want to select an icon. So I want to browse, and I already know where it is. It's actually what I want to do, I'll cancel that. I want to add it to this folder. I've been doing that, and I know where I store it. It's on the desktop. There. So now I can go to calendar events, and now I can select that icon. And it's under the applications folder, and there's the icon. So, okay. Now I can take this one, I'll move it over here to user's desktop. I'll create another shortcut. I'll do the same thing with this one. I'll select an icon. And that's the icon I want to use. Say OK, and I'll move this one into this folder here. So that one should contain that. This one should contain that. This one, I want to add a folder and call it INI. In this folder, I want to look at the properties of this. And here's the properties down here. Always create. Select true. There were other things that I needed to change. So I'm looking for the default path of where it's going to be. And here it is right here. So I'll make this window wider so I can see it. I'm changing this to my default is I want it on the C drive with calendar as the folder. That's just my preferences. So that's what I'm selecting. Another thing you can do while you have it open is like this icon right here. I'd shown this on one of the last videos. If it's not selected, you have to select this and you go to properties and you'll know it's form 1. So this is form 1. If I select this, it'll say, it's a text box. You want form 1 and you find icon. It's in alphabetical order, so it's icon. I've already have it selected. If it was default, it would be, it'd have a bunch of little black squares here, but I selected that. That is the icon I wanted to select. So that's one I chose. That's how you can pick any icon you want to, but that's how I selected it. Now that I've done this, I've already built this. I better build it again since I just saved that. So I'll go ahead and build this again. And I already know it works, but so I'm just going to close that. And this one I want to build as well. So I'll build this. Anyway, this is called revision 4. I changed the title of this, and this is on form 1. And I came down to where it says text right here, this text. And that's where I changed Rev 4 because this is the revision of it that I'm using. Anyway, it's built. So now I can go here and I can right click and open file, folder and files. And I'll go into the release folder. And these are my setup installation files. And I'll go through that step with you again to show you how to uninstall the previous one and reinstall this one. And then I'll show you that it works.